Today is what I call terminus day, meaning I'm going to reach the final destination on my plan before I turn around and head home.
And so my sisters and brother and I had to watch an hour's worth of Russian instruction on PBS, which is horrible.
Has that served you well?
Yet.
Right now I'm headed east toward Lake Champlain.
I don't mean to be that guy.
Oh my God, it's John Belushi.
I just may have had the best burger I've ever had in my life.
That was the best burger I have had in my life.
I made it to my destination. Now I just gotta turn around and go home. Good morning. Time to go home. The long way. What am I doing on this morning and what am I feeling? Well, I still have a chore, which is to put my feet in the Atlantic Ocean, and I feel like I want to be not in a harbor or a bay, but just kind of in the ocean. It's a silly thing, but I started that way. I want to do it. And then the other thing is I'm trying to figure out a route home because I really didn't plan the return as much as the getting here. And I know I've got some appointments along the way with friends and family, but I don't have camping reservations or lodging hotel reservations anywhere on the way home, not a single one. And so I'm just playing around with it. And with the luck I've had during the week, to find a room, Sunday through Thursday, pretty easy. And then, of course, with the national forests and my annual pass, kind of liking that. So we'll figure it out. The other thing that I'm juggling around in my head is that rear tire. And do I replace that? I think I do. But when and where? Certainly not out here, I guess. I can see how far I get, but maybe when I'm at the music festival at my buddy's place. Don't get too excited about that term music festival. It's pretty low key. But I believe there's some serious players there. Maybe around there I get a new rear tire put on. So I'm looking into Suzuki dealers. There you go. That's what I'm doing this morning. All packed up here at the Casco Bay Inn. If you're in Portland or Freeport area, I recommend. They were very nice to me and very, very clean, good breakfast, quiet, nice people. Yada, yada, yada. The big question on everyone's mind, well, my mind for sure, is now that I'm headed back to California, is that guy going to make it? I doubt it, given the heat I ran into.
on the way here, and I've checked the weather back home, and you know, there's a lot of heat in the Southwest again. So I got to start thinking about where I might get that replaced and when that fits my schedule. It's not now, and I'm still okay, but it's on my mind. The other thing, just had this great conversation with a gentleman who saw my bike. He was staying here at the hotel, and he was an older gentleman from Connecticut, and he said, I owned 3 Goldwings over my life, traveled all over the country, and we just got to talking about the joys of seeing America on a motorcycle. His wife would travel with him on the bike, and he mentioned a time that they were just resting on the side of the road, and 2 Hells Angels bikers pulled up, and you know, at first they were scared and nervous. They're kind of, you know, academic types, and you know, not biker types. And these 2 guys pulled up and just said, do you need any help, you know, mechanically? We've got tools. And they said, no, we're just resting. And they said, okay. And they dropped it in gear and took off. And they were so impressed with the fact that this group that has such a reputation, you know, would do something so kind and altruistic like that. And that's just the biker code, I think, at play there. Take from that what you will. Good. I'm going to be here about 5 minutes.
Where are you going?
I started my trip in the Pacific Ocean. I had my feet in the water in Balboa Peninsula in Orange County. I got to put my feet in the Atlantic Ocean to finish it. Then I got to head back.
You can go in.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Morning. Okay, I'm at Winslow State Park. There is a fee to get in this park. They were kind enough to waive it for me since I explained that I'm just here to dip my toe in the Atlantic and head home. So this is officially the Atlantic Ocean, as calm as it is. It's a bay again, but we got to do this. So here we go. Done. It's a really lovely spot. Officially starting in the Pacific. Gosh, and speaking of fishing poles, fishing lines, I guess, because that rhymes with pines. Admittedly, the name is a little arbitrary, but I was just trying to think, what am I going to see on this trip and what rolls off the tongue? That's what I came up with, so that's what you get. But fishing. They do fish here. Can you imagine how peaceful that is? Although all the boat maintenance, I mean, you think maintaining a motorcycle is work. Imagine a boat. Portland Head Lighthouse. I'm not sure if I'm more excited to see the lighthouse or these portable bathrooms. Too much coffee this morning. Okay, so from 1750 on, Portland Harbor was like the most important harbor in the colonies, and you know, the fledgling United States to come, because it is the closest port to Europe. And so this was a battery, and at one point it looked like this, and now it looks like this. But going back to this photo, all I can think of is, did these guys have foam squishy earplugs like I have in right now as I'm riding? And, you know, did they get veterans benefits, including disability checks for hearing loss? Probably not. Tough times. I can't imagine who they ever would have fired on. I suppose during the Revolutionary War there might have been, there was a fort here. I'm not going to make up history, but clearly this was a pretty important area. And I have family that dates back to the Revolutionary War. In fact, I've got family that dates back to a London Company ship in the 1600s coming over to the colonies on my birth mother's side. So, I don't know, I feel a tie to these places. Hello. Nobody home. I wonder what each of these, like, did you just grab a rifle and hang out in here, or what was the point of this? Oh, and those steps are not standardized like stairs today. Well, sure had a fair shot at anything coming in. Wonder how accurate they were with those guns back in the day. It would kind of suck to be floating across the ocean for days and days and weeks, only to come here and have a shell go right through your hull and you sink out there. So there appears to be another lighthouse out there now. I'm not sure if that is newer. Clearly Portland Head here is quite old. More fishermen. Built to last. The Lucky Catch. I like that name. I don't like most boat names. I like that one. So that fog horn reminds me of something that I'd really almost forgotten about. Back when they first originally found the wreck of the Titanic and started bringing things up from the bottom of the Atlantic, one of the things that they brought up and made part of a traveling exhibition, this is many years ago now, was the boat's horn, or it's not a whistle, it's a horn. And it's actually a series of 3 horns, but they were like whistles, honestly. And they would run on steam from the boilers, but they brought that exhibit to St. Paul and somehow, some way arranged to have the Titanic's horn or whistles blown. And they hooked it up to like an air compressor that you would, one of those trailered units that you would use for like a jackhammer in road construction. But they had a huge audience out there, and there were bands, and it was kind of a festive, high energy setting. And then they said, okay, we're gonna blow the horn. And they blew the whistle, and we all heard it. We heard the Titanic's horn blow for a good, they let it rip for 10, 15 seconds. And then, without any prompting, no one had said, let's have a moment of silence. There just was absolute silence for like a minute. Nobody said a word. And there are thousands of people in downtown St. Paul for this. You could hear a pin drop. And then all of a sudden the applause started, and there was just screaming, and it sent a chill up my spine twice. Once when the horn was blown, knowing that that was the Titanic's horn, and that it hadn't been blown. We were told it was the first time it was blown since since the boat went down in, what was that, 1913? Do I have that date right? Somewhere around there. Anyways, that reminds me of that. Heaven. Yeah, take care. See the wheels, they could swivel these things left or right and fire on an angle, and then of course looks like with this block they could adjust their, the arc of the travel of the cannonball. It's amazing. So simple. A guy would have to have a real feel for how to get this to work, and hit your target. But I bet they did have quite a good feel for it. They said go down these backwards. I think I can see why. Alright, so I am 6'1", and I can walk in here. without hitting my head. I asked the guy who was kind of at the information station. There my head's hitting if I really stand straight, but just barely. I said, is this a matter of design or a matter of the people that served on the ship were smaller than we are today? And he said it was really a combination of both. They really wanted to keep the center of gravity low so that when this thing's pitching in the water, you don't want your guns going underwater. You need to keep them firing. And the average height of an American was 5'6". So I don't know what the average is now, but I see a lot of dudes taller than that in here, including myself. Something's up. Is it the food or what? I'm guessing bilge pumps. They could put long handles on here and start pumping away. I don't know where the water goes, though. Let me think that through. That's my guess. I have not researched this. Go down another level. Oh, yeah, I could bump my head in here. Oh, wow. Crazy. This is not where I would want to be stationed. Ooh, comfy.
Oh, very.
Even a modern day woman cannot walk in here standing up. It's pretty short. I would have back trouble quite quickly. Oh, I'm guessing that's for fire. Maybe that's to pump water for a fire. This is some crazy engineering. Very cool. I'm gonna guess this is where the officers had their quarters and would plan their day. Not sure what this is, other than there's a little door on it and there appears to be a little sink, but support beam right in the middle of the little room. And they probably had an oil lamp there, I would have guessed. Crazy. Can you imagine how loud it would be in here when they fire these things? Commanding officers. Ah. Commander's quarters. Ooh. Nice. That's better than my tent. Huh. Man, if you had made it to commanding officer and captain, you really, really made it. So it would appear there would have been 2 ropes going down to control the rudder position. Go ahead, you're fine. Hate to say it, but I gotta get on the road. God, this has been fun though. I wish I could go up there. That would be a good view of the harbor. So it's maintained by the U.S. Navy and is You know, like you can be stationed. This can be your job in the Navy, is taking care of this thing, or answering questions for stupid tourists like me. But yeah, all the personnel working here are all enlisted U.S. Navy or perhaps Navy Reserves. Very cool. Very interesting way to live out an enlistment in the U.S. Navy. You know, clearly it was super high tech for its time. It's a long way from this to the fleet we had in the Pacific in World War II in the war against Japan. But not that much time between those, really, in the grand scheme of things. The advancement of technology is amazing, really. I wonder if these are the original anchors. You gotta think they're here for a reason. So 1790 something or another, this ship was commissioned and protected U.S. shipping and commerce in the ocean, in the Atlantic, obviously, along our coast. And in 1812, this thing took on a British ship, HMS something or another, I forget now. And the legend is that the cannonballs from the British ship were just bouncing off of the oak sides of this hull, and it got the nickname Old Ironsides. So after leaving Boston, I just started heading west and trying to make miles. So it has been interstate travel most of the day since Boston. And I'm on Interstate 84, headed across New York now. I just stopped for a rest stop here, stretch my legs a little bit, and I don't know where I'm staying tonight. I'm headed west, and it's about 5 p.m. The sun is still pretty high in the sky. Maybe I'll get to Scranton, Pennsylvania with an hour of daylight left, and perhaps there's camping around there. I don't know, state park or something. If there isn't, I guess I'll just grab another motel. The assumption, of course, is that that's an option too, but I'm gonna play with this a little bit and just see what I can make happen on chance. Well, I came to this lake, Wallenpaupaul. I don't know, it's Ledgedale, Pennsylvania. Oh, 2 fawns. Yay. Bambies. So we got 4 deer here. One of them is just hanging out in the road. Not a great idea, really. You better follow your buddies. Sunshine. Yeah, get out of the road. So I think I found lodging. Not exactly cheap, but hey, cheaper than a hotel. What? What do you want? Deer food? I didn't bring any deer food. I really have not run into deer, wild deer, that are this tame before. They're much more skittish in Minnesota. But they're clearly cool with people around here. Maybe they know it's not hunting season or something. So that's a whitetail. The tail's down, but when it's up, it's, like a big white flag. And the ears are smaller. And the deer that I showed earlier from out west have much bigger ears, and they're called mule deer because their ears look like a mule's ears or a burro. Then I just had to grab this 57 Chevy. It's a 4-door, so it's a bit less valuable than a 2-door coupe, but it's still in nice shape. They're all getting rare. This guy I'm not immediately champion. Who made the champion? Huh. Studebaker. Wow. Very cool. I do dig the color. I'm into that light blue. Seems as though quite a few people keep their boats down here on this lake, and pontoons. I see sport boats, I see fishing boats, I see cabin cruisers, pretty much a little bit of everything, but all on the smaller side, which is fine. I don't think this lake is huge. They're all probably right size for this lake. And that's something you don't see a whole lot of anymore, is gas pumps like out over the water. I don't know that that's even legal in Minnesota anymore. Because of course wherever there's gas, there's going to be a leak eventually. Okay, campfire chat. Did find a campsite without having a plan for one, and this time I just went off of the little blue signs on the side of the road with the little tent symbol, and I started looking at the sun and saying, well, hour and a half of daylight left, need some time to get settled in, let's try this. What happened to my light? I don't know why I'm not getting much light out of it. That's not bad. It's a small fire for sure, because I don't expect to be up late. I'm quite tired. Okay, now I'm seen. So the little blue sign just pointed up to Lake... I couldn't tell you. I already tried pronouncing it. I can't do it. But lots of animals. A lot of deer. I'm looking at some sort of a ferret or a fox right now, silhouetted, so I'm gonna have to lock up my food really tight, because they're little thieving bastards when it comes to camp food. Happy to be here. I'm on my way home. That's kind of a surreal feeling, but I'm motivated to get home now, but enjoy myself along the way. The journey continues while, you know, it's in one sense the goal has been reached, the goal of getting to Portland, Maine from going coast to coast, but really the goal was always to go coast to coast and then back again. Oh, this wood is wet, that's why. I can hear it hissing. As long as you got good coals, you'll have a fire, but it takes extra work for it to burn all that water out of it. And so with that, I think I'm going to sign off for this episode. This is day 15 coming to an end. I'm on the eastern side of Pennsylvania, just a little east of Scranton, the hometown of current President Joe Biden, Joseph Biden, who I quite possibly saw fly right in front of me today. What are the chances of that? Pretty remote. What I will say about that is they do send up dummy, empty Air Force Ones that he's not on as a decoy, so you never really know which one is really the one he's on. And then, you know, I don't know about I think it's a C5 that follows with the limousine and you know, the supporting vehicles and that kind of thing. That was there following the plane, the Air Force One aircraft. So I don't know if they do that for the dummy also, fly two planes, but there were two. So yeah, maybe I'm in Scranton and Joe Biden just flew in front of me today. Who knows? Interesting stuff that happens when you're out there in the world. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Now I got fire. You can see me.